everybody. We're back with Seers Isle. And we are on the second to last chapter of Seers Isle, called Ice. So let's go. Freya stares at me. She reaches a hand towards my antlers but doesn't venture to touch them. But who are you? Out of the corner of my eye, I see Connor emerge from the darkness of the cavern. Her name is Rowan. She's been watching over us since the beach. Surprised, Freya watches Connor join us. Then she turns back to me. Eric, it was you who guided Duncan's hand, wasn't it? Yes. I had no choice. If I hadn't intervened, Eric would have killed Duncan. Then he would have attacked Connor, and you would have had to have killed him anyway. I understand. Connor throws nervous glances towards the cavern. Speaking of Duncan, have you seen him? He went looking for you earlier, and since then... I lower my eyes. And Arlen? I couldn't save them. I was too late. The Seers took them. Connor clenches his fist. Freya looks devastated for an instant, then she gets a hold of herself and changes the subject. I don't understand. Are you a seer or not? No, not really. I was human like you before. Freya, do you realize that Rowan just told us that Arlen and Duncan were dead? Yes, it saddens and distresses me. That said, we still have a way to go before the summit. We'll have plenty of time to grieve when we have left this island. Those damn Seers. They have too much power over us. And if the temple managed to take their power, it would be catastrophic. The temple has no idea what's happened here. If they had, they wouldn't have sent you to this island. I promise you that everything that happens to us happens for a good reason. The shamans of our respective clans prepared us for what could have happened. Believe me, Connor, you can trust the Seers. Dang it. Freya's right. We have no choice but to trust them. I'm sure everything will become clear when we reach the summit. Really, Rowan? You're really telling me that you trust the Seers after they exiled you in their kingdom? Speaking of which, you haven't told us how you ended up in this situation. What did you do? Find yourself in the world of the Seers? I don't know. At least I can't really remember. But you arrived, I was in limbo for an eternity. But you said you were human before. You must remember something. Well, I had visions in the cave, or the cavern too. The Seers showed me fragments of my past, and my future. Me too, I had visions in the cavern. Freya nods. What did they show you? The moment I was sent to the island when I was accused of sorcery. Connor looks incredulous. Sorcery? As far as the temple is concerned, everyone who follows the old religion is considered a sorcerer. Freya glances with irritation at Connor, then turns to me. There are legends to speak of magic which doesn't come from the Seers. Is that what you're talking about, Rowan? I sigh. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. But it's not possible. It would explain Rowan's situation. That kind of magic is supposed to be forgotten. Only a few old legends mention it. We tell them at the vigil at Samhain to scare the youngsters. To a sorcerer on the island so close to the source, Connor looks unnerved. Do you know what's there at the top of the mountain? Not really. I saw a few instants. But I'm certain you have to go there and with you. I have to go there and with you. Freya seems lost in thought. I don't understand. Your presence must disturb the normal course of things. How long have you been here? I've no idea. I feel as if I've been on this island for an eternity, but I could just as easily have arrived at the same time as you. In any case, that's what my vision seems to have shown me. Do you know why the Seers are making you endure this? I don't understand their intent, but perhaps they want to punish me. That's horrible. How can the Seers justify their role as guides while at the same time they condemn you to such a cruel punishment? Connor, I saw my past. I promise you I deserve this. Rowan, I've done things I'm not proud of, too. But nothing can justify an eternity of solitude on this island. Freya looks me in the eyes. Whatever you've done, you've paid your debt. Come with us to the summit. I'm sure we can convince the Seers to let you leave. We should get going. Freya nods. Night will soon be on us, and this is not the place to take a break. There's got to be a plateau a bit higher up. We'll find a sheltered spot more easily there. Connor huddles against the chill. Aren't you cold? I'm not used to these temperatures. The climate is milder in the capital. Oh, it doesn't bother me. My clan lives in the mountains. We often have to face much harsher cold than this. As long as we keep moving, we'll be fine. And you, Rowan? I shake my head. Since I came out of the cavern, I feel much more anchored than before in the physical world, but I feel neither the wind nor the cold on my skin. No, it's been a long time since I've felt neither cold nor warmth. It's actually really messed up. Freya starts off up the path, which snakes up the side of the mountain. I follow close behind her, and Connor comes last. We walk in silence along the path, since the wind which winds steeply along the rock walls. The narrow path doesn't allow us to walk abreast. The sun continues its slow trajectory for a while. I doubt that we'll see the end of the path before nightfall. Wow. Sorry, that's cool looking. Finally, the way comes out of a high plateau with a body of water in the middle. The path, once again marked by megaliths, skirts the left side of the lake. At the end, we can see the summit of the mountain, closer than ever before. Squinting my eyes, I think I can see a reddish light. Connor joins me and stops to catch his breath. Freya was right. I turn confused. About the plateau. I notice that Freya has gone some way ahead and is signaling us to join her. Connor and I continue until we reach her. We should follow the megaliths. I think we'll find somewhere to sleep a bit further on. You seem very sure of yourself. How do you know? Freya shrugs. I don't know. Intuition? Connor seems startled but says nothing more, walking on with a worried look. With the day's end, the temperature's dropping. Even if I don't feel its effects, I can sense it in the tired faces and shivering of my companions. Freya leads the group along the path between the megaliths while Connor struggles to follow. Suddenly, she leaves the road, heading towards the rocky buttresses which surround the plateau and disappears behind a stone ledge. A few moments later, she reappears and signals us to join her. We can see a light which escapes from a vertical fissure in the rock. We enter one by one and find a small cave. In the center is a freshly lit campfire, the hearth carved into the granite floor. There's an opening in the ceiling where the smoke escapes. The stone walls have been carved with interlacing curves and ancient symbols, their meanings forever lost in time. The place must have been used as a refuge for the craftsmen who put up the megaliths. There's a basket of fruit next to the fire and a pile of warm clothes and blankets. Well, isn't that convenient? There's even a stack of dry wood in a corner of the cave to feed the fire. Connor flops down next to the fire and stretches out his legs, sighing. This is, providential. Freya checks around the cave. She seems preoccupied. I understand her wariness. Do you think this was here? Do you think this is a member of the expedition? Freya sighs. I'd like to believe it's possible, but I'm afraid there's no way that Duncan or Arlen have overtaken us. I'm pretty sure I was the first to enter this cave. I don't understand why the Seers have suddenly decided to behave like proper hosts, but I'm certainly not about to complain. Connor grabs an apple from the basket and takes a large bite. Freya sits on the other side of the fire and does the same, and then she offers me the basket. Are you hungry? Suddenly, I realized I'm ravenous. There are some figs, my favorite fruit, even though it's the wrong season. I open one delicately and bite into the sweet and red fresh flesh. Wow. Wasn't sure you could eat. Me neither, but you can't imagine how good it is after so long with no sensation of hunger or thirst. Maybe she's turning back into a person. That would be weird. I take another from the basket and sit down next to Freya. I'm not truly cold, but the gentle warmth of the fire is pleasant on my skin. I shiver. Freya notices and goes to get some blankets. We finish our meal in silence. Opposite me, Connor looks serious, his face worn. I tell myself it's due to the walk, the accent, and all the emotional turmoil of the day. Maybe we should organize a watch. Connor's face speaks volumes for his enthusiasm. Freya, we're completely exhausted. I think it would be better to get a good night's sleep. We'll need our strength tomorrow. Freya nods. Yes, you're probably right. I'll keep watch. Freya puts her hand on my leg. You need to sleep, Rowan. We've got a good day of walking tomorrow to reach the summit. Oh, don't worry about me. I don't sleep, at least not much. Freya smiles at me. Alright. Still, try to get some rest. She stands, gets a few logs, which she throws on the fire before rolling herself into a blanket and lying down close to me. Connor stays sitting in silence opposite me. He looks anxious. I do the same and stay a long time watching the play of flames on the walls of the cave. I am awoken by the pale light of dawn coming through the opening of the cave. The fire's burned down to embers. I shiver. I get up and go to get a few logs to revive the fire. Freya comes into the cave looking preoccupied. When her eyes fall on me, she cannot conceal her surprise. Of course, I don't sound surprised, but I'm weird. Rowan! Okay, I'm done. Yes? Your antlers, they're gone. Oh man, I look cool with antlers. I rub my hand over my brow to be certain, even if I sense that Freya is right. There are only small bumps in place where my antlers were, and my hair must hide them. I realize that Freya is alone. But where's Connor? Freya looks away. I don't know. When I woke up, I saw he wasn't here, and I went straight out to look for him. There's no sign of him. Great. And I don't believe that Connor is a good enough tracker to conceal his trail. It's as if he just vanished. Do you think... I don't know. I don't understand why the Seers would take him. He passed the trial, after all. Well, everything will become clear soon. We should gather our strength and get going. Freya takes the fruit basket and passes it to me. Your antlers, does that mean you're human again? I shrug. I don't know. I can feel a little, the cold coming from the entrance and the heat of the fire, but not as much as I should. We finish our breakfast in silence, then we get up and leave the cave. The air outside is biting cold. The pale sun of Hypes reflects on the iridescent waters of the lake. The plateau is protected from the wind by the mountain peaks, and there's no animal life. The surrounding silence is almost total, giving me the unpleasant sensation of being an intruder coming to a profane, sacred place. The way continues but one megalith to the next until the other bank, and then the path branches towards the summit, winding a sinuous route up the slope. Sinuous route, yeah. Sinuous is a weird word. Freya stops and shades her eyes of her hand, probably trying to judge the distance to the summit. High above the colored mark that could hardly be seen last night is now clearly visible. Do you know what that is up there? That red spot at the summit? It's the flame tree. The flame tree? I look down, trying to recall it best I can. I have visions in the cavern. It marks the door to the world of the Seers and the source of their magic. Oh, cool. I know that we need to go there, both of us. What I don't know, though, is what will happen to me once we are up there. All that I wanted was to live my life and to be left in peace. And I find myself condemned to roam this island. Freya smiles at me. The Seers are wise, Rowan. I don't know why they exiled you in their world, but I'm sure they'll let you leave this time. You're right, I should trust them. I don't know how or why I was exiled in their world, but I'm not going to get anywhere by confronting them. Freya smiles at me. Whatever the case, we'll soon know. The summit has never been so close. Well, that's an interesting picture. And that's the end of the second to last chapter. And the next one is the end of it all, ladies and gentlemen. But until then, you know the drill. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think about this game, and I will see you next time. Bye.